From the earliest days of Logo, the strategy was really to make a connection between what a child might do in the physical world and programming. So a common exercise was the floor turtle, a little robot that was controlled by the computer. But before you went to the turtle, first you had the children live in a emulation of the turtle. So you would have a child become the robot and the other children in a circle around the child give that child instructions to follow. Go forward, turn right, take 3 steps, these kinds of things. And it begins to make a direct connection between some of the declarative ideas of programming and the physical world that children are naturally part of. So I don't think the reason we want to teach children to program is so they get jobs at Google. I think we want to teach children to program because it's a powerful idea. It's a powerful tool for them for dealing with the world and solving problems in the world. Programming brings a discipline around computational thinking that becomes a very useful tool in their toolbox. So it's really that goal of thinking about problems in a particular way that is really the rationale for teaching programming. Well, I'm a big fan of Python, and I like Python because it's got built into it a lot of clarity. And I think that clarity when you're beginning to learn to program is super important. And at the same time, Python has such a richness of available libraries that you can touch on almost any interest from Python without having to do a lot of heavy lifting. So it gives you an opportunity to climb whatever mountain you want to climb based on whatever your personal interests are, which I think is super important in terms of encouraging a child to engage in programming. They can set a goal and achieve that goal. As far as primary school, though, I think that in the latter stages of primary school, I think they actually can learn Python. I think in the earlier parts of primary school, for the 8-year-olds, the 9-year-olds, I think that you want to use one of the many different graphical programming languages that are available these days. Probably the most widely known and widely used is Scratch. Scratch is really nice if you want to tell stories, do narrative types of programming. I think there are other programming languages that focus on other things. So, for example, I've been developing a language called Music Blocks that combines music, mathematics, and programming. So a child who's got some interest in music might want to start there. So again, it's really, there's a nice opportunity these days. You don't have to pick one language for every problem, but you can pick a language that is going to engage that child in the things that they're interested in. In terms of my experience working with children, I mean, the first thing is that children love programming. They love computers. Alan Kay once said that computers are good for 5 things. The first thing on his list was getting and holding our attention. This was in the 1970s that he said this, and I think it's just as true today. So just watching that engagement is a real pleasure. But every child brings something different to programming, something different to the problems, and watching that express itself in different ways is really the pleasure of mentoring. And perhaps my favorite experience actually involves one of the children I first worked with in Uruguay, who joined our programming community when he was 12 after having worked for a few years with the One Laptop Per Child program in Uruguay. And at first he was acting like a 12-year-old. And but over time you could see that he was really paying attention to everything that was happening around him. And he very quickly became a really prolific contributor and eventually one of the leaders in our community. So watching someone come in with curiosity and not many skills, but a lot of curiosity and a lot of perseverance and really grow into a very mature and capable leader in the community. That's my favorite story. So, Ignacio, here's to you.